So if it's not your voice, it's not your message, it's not even your fans, what is it? What is it about your brand that is so busted that you are frustrated with marketing? You are frustrated with your job. You're looking at it thinking, oh my gosh, to heck with this, I'm going to go be a florist. Okay, not everybody says that. That's my mantra. When I have a bad day, when things are not going the way they're supposed to, it's usually okay, I'm going to go be a florist day. So what is it about your brand that if you were to fix it, if you were to change it, you know you could make more money, you know you could have more enjoyment, you know you would love the heck out of it if you could just tweak this one thing. But how do you know which one thing? That is why I am here. Branding is probably not your expertise, but lucky for you, it's mine. So I'm going to share some of that today as we talk about how to understand what parts of your brand are broken, how to fix them, how to adjust them, but mostly it's really the identification of which part's broken so you can get in there, fix it, get out, and get on with your life, right? So that's what I'm here for. Last week we talked about the first three keys: your voice, your message, your fans. And it's entirely possible. The fans one is a big deal. I hear that a lot. I'm working with people that don't want to pay me. I'm working with people who just want to pick my brain. I'm working with people who ask me for discounts. I'm working for people who look at my contract and say, ooh, could I just get this one more thing? So that being able to speak and draw in your ideal clients and understand who they are, and here's the other part, have the guts to tell them to go away if they're not. Bless and release, fire, give referrals for somebody else, but however you want to phrase that, having the guts and the confidence to know that your ideal client is waiting right behind them if you just let go of those people that are 20 bucks the hard way. That's one of those very common issues with branding. So if that's you, you're not alone. It's okay. And if you want some help letting them go and understanding who's who and what's what and who gets to pay you, then please reach out. You can actually find some time to talk with me one-on-one. I call it a discovery duet because we figure out what's working, what's not, and it's just me and you. So it's a duet. So you can go to yourbrandbydesign.com/duet, DUET. And you can actually snag some time on my personal calendar where we just talk about your brand for a little bit and see what things you can do. Because here's the other kicker. There's a lot of this you can do by yourself. Now, it's more fun with support, and it's more effective, and it goes faster if you have somebody, I don't know, an outside professional, a branding expert help you. But you can absolutely do this on your own if you just take a minute and focus on it. Hello, Lark. It's so good to see you. So let's just jump right in. My name is Amber Griffiths, and my company is Your Brand by Design, and I'm a branding expert, you're welcome, and a rock star. And I want to share with you some of the other ways you can figure out why your brand is a little busted. Which areas of it do you need to address? Give a little bit of love, give a little bit of spotlight to, so you can really enjoy what you do again, so you can get excited about it. And that actually leads me to the very first thing. How is your vision, people? I'm not talking about your site, your 2020, although that comes into play. Where are you going in your business, and how clear are you about what that looks like? Does it excite you? If there's nothing about what you're doing that makes you giggle and makes you make this face all the time, you should probably check your vision. Because chances are that what you started, like let's say you started your business a year ago, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, and what you're doing now doesn't actually make you happy. It's what made you happy 10 years ago when you started. It's what you thought you wanted to do when you set up your LLC 3 years ago. But now that you've done it for a while, now that you've worked with some of these favorite people, now that you have honed in your zone of genius, you look at that and think, this is not quite, I don't want to get out of bed. This sucks. This isn't fun anymore. I would invite you to check your vision, because either it's not true anymore, or what's really likely, especially if you've been in business for a while, you've already got there. You've already achieved what you thought your vision was. You've already created it. You've already mastered it. You're there. And you didn't realize it. Or you just keep going through the motions and you're like, I'll get there someday, I'll get there. Maybe your vision wasn't clear enough to begin with, so you didn't even realize that you had achieved it. That's entirely possible. But the bottom line is that I've written this down so I can remember, talk about vision first. If it keeps you focused, if your vision is so super crystal clear, I mean, down to the very last detail of what you want to create in your business, it should keep you excited and it should keep you focused. When you are that clear about your vision, it's super easy to decide if something is an opportunity or if it's a distraction. A lot of times, especially as an entrepreneur, we'll think, oh wow, this could be a really awesome thing. I should go jump on this. You know, somebody wants me to speak. I'll be right there. Somebody wants to pay me a lot of money. I will be right there. when really it's a distraction. If it doesn't take you towards your vision, it's a distraction and you should let it go. Don't have energy about it. Don't spend a week thinking about it and him-hawing around and weighing the pros and cons. Either it takes you toward your vision or it doesn't. So if your vision isn't super clear, that allows you to have that decisive motion, fix your vision. Revisit it. I would challenge you to revisit it about every 6 months. Just make sure you're still in alignment. Make sure it still makes you happy. Make sure it still makes you want to get out of bed in the morning, even if you don't put on shoes. You should get out of bed and engage and work towards your vision. And if it's not something that drives you like that, then we should definitely have a conversation. I talked to a woman just yesterday who had been in business, this particular line of business, for about 10 years. And I talked to her a little bit because she was completely changing directions. She was going from one thing, like, I want to say it was nutritionist, something in nutrition. And she was completely shifting her focus. And I said, what happened? And she was like, I realized that I hated it. I've been doing it for 10 years. I have some success, but she said everything seemed hard and everything seemed like work. And she's like, ever since I changed my focus and realized that I wanted to do something completely different and create something completely different in the world, this is way more fun. She's like, I get clients almost every day. I want to go out and make phone calls. I want to engage people. I want to talk about what I do. So it can make all the difference in the world. And it doesn't matter if you've been doing it for 1 year or 10. There are ways to, it's never too late to shift and start doing what you love. There is nothing quite like being able to build a business, build a lifestyle around doing something that you absolutely love to do. So that's both your vision and, frankly, your zone of genius. Stay inside your zone of genius. So another thing that I want you to look at is, we talked a little bit about the clarity in your voice, clarity in your ideal fans, clarity in your message. How's your consistency? How cohesive is your brand? So take a second. This is something you can absolutely do on your own. Look at every single piece of your brand, like your business card, your email signature, your newsletter, your social posts, website, like any little piece of your brand, everything you say and everything you do, right? Look at all that. Where's your thank you cards at the end of business? Look at those. Look at your PowerPoint presentation, your banners, any spiffs that you've got. Do they all look like they came from you? Do they all have the same look, the same feel, the same call to action? Can you tell they came from the same company? Can you tell that they're all going toward the same type of person? Because sometimes we get really excited about some gadget, some widget, some site, some whatever. I'm getting a phone call, my apologies. Some little thing, and we jump on it without really thinking if it's going to mesh with our brand, if it's going to deliver our brand, our message, our values, and if it's going to attract our people. Here's another way to look at it. While you have everything lined up out on a table, make sure your logo's on everything. I know, that seems like a no-brainer. It's not. I can't tell you how many times I work with people where they send me an ad and they say, this is what we have. I'm like, well, where's your logo? Where's your phone number? Where's your website? I don't know why you're not getting visits. They have no way to contact you. Something as simple as that. And sometimes, honestly, friends, it just happens because we're busy. We get in the mode of just jumping through and getting something done and getting something created super, super fast so it'll work. And we forget to put things on it like our logo. We forget to put things on it like our email address, our website, our social URLs. We forget. We get in a hurry. Which, of course, brings me to my last point. Do you have a brand soundtrack? This is this single document, this single resource that is going to help you stay clear, stay consistent, stay focused, and not just you, but anyone you work with about your business. Any vendor you hire, any designer, any web developer, any social media expert, any printer, anybody, if you're a speaker, anybody who's helping you get booked and get going. This helps them stay on the same page with you. This helps your brand stay completely 100% consistent. If you don't know what a brand soundtrack is, other than it has everything in there, we should chat. It's one of those things, I don't care how big your business is. In fact, the bigger it is, probably the more critical it is. But when you're smaller, it's easier to create. And then you can just build on it as you grow. This is this one-stop resource for everything. It has your vision, your mission, your message, your ideal client explanation. It has sample writings. So when you have somebody else help you with a blog, it still sounds like you. If you outsource and have somebody help you create email messages, it still sounds like you. Because you can share this and say, this is my tone. This is how I write. This is how I talk. So when someone else does that for you, it still sounds like you. It's still building momentum and creating an amazing experience for your ideal client that's consistent, that's clear, and here's the dinger, it converts. If you don't have a soundtrack, if you're not excited by your vision, and if you're not sure if everything you have looks like you, we should definitely have a conversation. You can go to my website, yourbrandbydesign.com/duet, D-U-E-T. The other thing I would love for you to try out just to see, because you can do this afternoon. It's almost 3 o'clock. You're not working right now anyway. Go to brandingrockstarsquiz.com. It walks you through each of these pieces of your brand and allows you to rate yourself and see how you're doing. Because it's entirely possible you might think one thing's broken when really it's pretty good. And you may think something else is in good shape where you're like, ugh, I forgot about that. I didn't think about that. That's what I'm here for. So go to brandingrockstarsquiz.com, take the quiz. It takes about 3.5 minutes. You can do it before you're done with lunch. You can get it done and really be that far ahead, knowing exactly where you need to tweak and adjust your brand so that you start making more money. You start working with people that excite you. And you remember that you get to revel in the genuine thrill of getting paid to do what you love to do. And that is what Rockstar Branding is all about. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me here on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. You can find me, let's see here. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on my website. You can email me at amber@yourbrandbydesign.com and ask any question you want. Go to yourbrandbydesign.com/duet to claim some time on my calendar. And until I get to see you in person, rock on.